Hi, my name is Mike DePreckle from Patriot Health and Fitness. This is my first video. This channel is on all about your health and wellness, especially for people with health concerns and people maybe a little bit older. Stay tuned. I've got a great topic today. It's about metabolism and what I've learned in my 30 years and how to inform you about a certain aspect of metabolism that is going to inspire you today and change your life. It's going to change your life for the better, and I can't wait to share it. And so let's get started here, and I want you to exercise your right to good health. Hit it. Let's get started. Welcome back. This is Mike from Patriot Health and Fitness, and today's topic is metabolism and why this video may harm your health. And I want to put the two together to be a little bit provocative, but first I got to tell you about what the channel is to offer, what to expect from me, a little bit about my background and education, then we'll get right to the topic at hand. So I'm going to start off with one video a week until I get better at the editing process. I'm not good at it yet, so when I do, it'll be 2 to 3 times per week, no more than that, because this topic can be quite a large umbrella. And even though my focus is going to be for people with aches and pains, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, it's still going to involve at times the broader topic, broader athletes and so forth, and general population in wellness in general. So, but I wanted to make it clear what the focus is going to be, and these lockdowns have been killing us, people, and we've been stuck to the television, our phone, the videos, trying to get news when we can. You know, everybody knows the world's upside down. No, most people know that, and I believe. Um, and us sitting behind video screens is really harming our health. And with me, I want you to get up and down several times while you watch it. And so I don't want you to, have a cause for ill health watching me. Um, it's bad enough with the first time video, as much as I'll mess up verbally and so forth. But I got to get it out there, got to get it out here now. This lockdown, I'm in a heavily locked down state, and people are watching all kinds of depressing news, and it's just been gut wrenching what's been going on in the world, and it's not good for our brain, nor is it good for your body. And this is even before the lockdowns. People have been watching way too much videos and cell phones and just everything digital, everything video, and not actually doing. And we're going to talk about a couple things before we get into metabolism and the exciting news that I have about metabolism and how that news is going to change your life. But first, a little bit about me. Um, my brother and sister and I were adopted in northern Michigan. We were raised, and my mom and dad uh, picked us all out, and what a blessing, because I was all screwed up. I was 2 pounds 12 ounces. We're all babies, and I was a little tiny baby, and I was an incubator for 6 months, and I had braces on and pointed head, red hair, crossed eyes, double hernia. Um, you name it, I had it wrong with me. And in 1966, that was quite a feat. Um, but God bless them, they brought me home, and famously, my grandma said, "Where'd you get that pukey looking kid?" And so that was a story, throughout relatives when I was growing up. But it's all good. It put some tenacity in me, I believe, and some fight in me. And knock on wood, I've been pretty healthy. I've actually been very healthy. I've had a lot of soft tissue injuries from sports. I've played them all, except for baseball. I've been kind of always been afraid of the ball. Um, but um, I've never had a headache. I'm in my mid 50s. I can ride a bike 100 miles if I wanted to, and I ride every day. Um, but I've played all sports: hockey, wrestling, football, racket sports, you name it. So been pretty active, but I've been on a roller coaster like everybody else throughout my adult life, I guess. But more active than the average person, I suppose, just because of my profession and my passion. I get very upset. It brings tears to my eyes when I see people handicapped before their time, and the lifestyle choices that people make. It's hard to understand, but with the vast information on the internet, you've got one program that says don't do cardiovascular exercise, and you've got another program that says do all the cardio or do weight training, and it's so confusing. um, I'm going to put it together for you, and not today. But I'm going to use my 30 years experience as an exercise physiologist, as an exercise specialist. I've worked in cardiac rehab as stress testing. I've done I flew around the country doing heart and diabetes screenings. I've owned a health club. I've done personal training in homes and in clubs. Uh, I've been a health fitness director. I've taught weight training at Lake Superior State. And I developed a nutrition system partnering up with the American Diabetes Association. So um, I've done a lot, but I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know a whole. I'm only a bachelor's degree in exercise science. Um, but there's a story behind that. I started off in engineering. My dad was a gym teacher, and I was gonna, the teacher in kindergarten said I liked the play more than the reading thing, and certainly recess and exercise was always really important to me throughout my growing up years. And I guess having a recess is still important to me, so you can't beat it. Um, but no, I started off in engineering, and it didn't go all that well, go as expected, as we you could say. So I had an appointment with the placement office, and a guy there. And before I got into his office, there was a place where they had a bunch of pamphlets, and I looked at one that said exercise, and I thought, what exercise? What's that doing on a pamphlet? On a career pamphlet. You know, and I thought exercise science. I've never heard of that. And I thought, well, I can exercise. I'm on the wrestling team, for goodness sake. So I picked it up, looked at it, and asked the guy about it. He didn't know much about it, but I got into it. And 2 years later, I realized the impact that regular exercise has on the prevention and control of lifestyle diseases. And my passion has never stopped since. It's been growing since. And people put themselves in a hole, but we can get out of it. We can get out of it. And you don't have to climb Mount Everest in order to do it. You don't have to bike ride 100 miles in order to do it. And that's what I'm here to tell you today in the first video, which is one reason why I'm very, very excited. I'm just excited in general to start this channel off and get my health and wellness message that I've had in all these various, from hospitals to health clubs, get it out in this form so that it can reach the masses. So I'm praying that you like and share this video, and of course watch it to the end, because the metabolism news, the simple metabolism news that I have to share with you, is going to change your life. Okay, so but first I want to talk a little bit about arthritis and about how the body is adaptable to our environment, which is why sitting and watching videos all day without moving is very, very harmful. Okay, and yeah, I've already got in my exercise, so I got to do some more, but more about me later. So this is about you. So our bodies, when we're sitting and not moving, it adapts to the environment, just like it would be if you are exercising like a professional athlete. In fact, God is so incredible. Did you know that in your humerus here, this bone here that goes from your shoulder to your elbow, it's called the humerus, and a professional baseball pitcher's humerus is twice as big as their non-pitching arm. That's incredible. I mean, God made us so adaptable. You know, people can, in one part of the world can eat this way, in another part of the world we can eat that way. Our bones are remodeled or redeveloped, reformed every 2 to 3 years. Did you know that? Every single 206 bones roughly in your body are remade every 2 to 3 years. But every time they're remade, it doesn't get stronger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We know this from life, watching other people, right? But did you know that if you apply the right stresses to your body, if you move regularly, your skeleton will remain strong and not exposed abnormally to this awful condition called osteoporosis, where your bones become so brittle they break when you put weight on them. Some people are in that terrible position because of lack of movement. Some people are because of lack of a calcium imbalance, and there's something wrong with their bone physiology. But that is beyond my education level, so I'm not even going to go there. What I'm talking about are things that we can do to improve our body through regular exercise and eating right most of the time. And by the way, eating right, there's no right way, one way to eat. I can tell you this, though, if we put down processed foods, if we avoid processed foods most of the time and eat natural foods that God gave us, and without a lot of junk and cheese and piled on them, it's hard to go wrong. It's hard to even overeat. So that's for future topics. But our bodies are so adaptable, they will adapt to a seated position. Their bones, our vertebrae, will fuse together if they're in close contact with each other and they're subject to not moving. They'll stabilize. They'll say, well, Mike, you've been sitting for all this time. We're just going to make it easier for you to sit. All of a sudden, my lumbar vertebrae are fused together. That's not a good thing. And we develop arthritis, and it's hard to move, and it's hurtful to move. So we don't. But I'm telling you, you can and you should. And I want to tell you a little bit more about arthritis that maybe your doctor didn't explain this way. But I love to share it with people this way because people get it. When I was a boy, I had to sweep the patio before I played basketball in the summer, or before I did anything. And but basketball, if it was nice out, that was my first thing, unless I saw somebody that was getting ready to water ski, and that I'd happen to go down to their house and say, hey, what are you guys doing? And they're sitting by the boat with the towels ready. They got their skis loaded, and I don't know what they're doing. And they'd always invite me. So that's how I learned to water ski. Anyhow, when I was a boy, I had to sweep the patio. And I learned that when it was 8 o'clock and you did it in the morning, there wasn't as many anthills, and nor were they as big. So I didn't have to do as much work. So if I got up early, I could get that done quicker and then go play for the rest of the day or whatever. Arthritis kind of is in the same realm. And that most of you guys know this, that doctors will recommend exercise as the first line of treatment for mild to moderate osteoarthritis, not rheumatoid, but osteo. And so what happens is the periosteum, it's a membrane that surrounds long bones. It can get fluid behind it, a calcified fluid filled with calcium, and that fluid hardens. And so that periosteum, instead of nicely forming around the bone, which is made by God in a certain way, now it has a bump on it. Now when you go to move the joint in the articulation, there's a bump in the way, and it hurts. But if you sweep the anthills away, if you move that bone across the other bone often enough, regularly enough, regular exercise is the first defense towards mild to moderate osteoarthritis. This is why you sweep the anthills away. You sweep the bumps away. You break the bumps down. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. It may hurt if you haven't done it. But once you do it, you keep doing it, your pain can diminish and diminish and diminish. We've got to move, folks. We've got to move. Now, finally, the topic at hand, metabolism. I can't wait. There's 4 ways to expend energy, okay? And I've done metabolic testing too at a hospital in Minnesota. And so the first and most remarkable way, or the highest way to expend energy, is metabolism. And that accounts for about 40 to 60% of your daily expenditure, okay? Is your metabolic rate, the rate in which your cells perform work. It's how much energy they use when they do work. Some cells do not use energy, they're passive, but most all processes require energy, and this is what makes up collectively as your metabolic rate. Okay, so that accounts for 40 to 60% of your calories, or your energy being burned throughout the day, 24-hour day, comes through your metabolism, or just simply your body living. Okay. Second to that, or to a lesser degree, is activities of daily living, or ADL. The American Medical Association defines ADL as brushing your teeth, dressing, eating, talking, driving a car, and moving around. That's it. So we could throw in work, a sedentary occupation. We could throw in talking to friends, of course, petting the dog, all of these things. Just living, just moving around, milling around, but it involves movement. Those are activities of daily living. They are second in terms of how much energy, and we measure energy production and consumption in terms of calories, okay? So they are second, and that's pretty high. Third, or to a lesser degree, is formal exercise. Yep. Formal exercise does not burn as many calories throughout the day as activities of daily living, as getting dressed, as eating, as talking, as walking, to work, or walking at work, driving the car. Formal exercise, in almost everybody, unless you're a high-performance endurance athlete, there is an exclusion. But for almost everybody else, exercise does not burn as many calories as activities of daily living, or ADL. And that's the exciting message. That's what you got to say. Whoa, 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 what do you mean? I don't have to climb Mount Everest? I don't have to do it like Biggest Loser? No, not at all. You don't have to kill yourself in order to have success. You don't have to do this till exhaustion, till you throw up, to be healthy. It's not even safe. I didn't need to go to college for that one. The exciting news here, if you haven't gotten it already, is just move. Move around, move slow, start with little things, start with what you can do, but do it regularly. That's the key. The American College of Sports Medicine recommends 7 days a week for people with osteoarthritis to build up to exercise or movement 7 days a week. And I'm telling you, do so as well. Again, it's better to move regularly than occasionally and move try to move a huge boulder. You know, I always say this: it's better to walk around the hill every day rather than up it 3 days a week. You know what I mean? So take that to heart, get excited, get motivated, get out of the house. Don't wear a mask when you're exercising, please. And God bless. Come back for more. I'll see you in a week. Exercise your right to good health. I'm out.